Welcome to the English Matura with JV podcast. Hello, seniors. We're going to dive into a really special moment in your life, something every single 12th grader in Hungary knows is right around the corner. Yep, we're talking about the big one, Szalagavato. Okay, so let's break it down. For anyone who might not be familiar, Szalagavato literally means the ribbon-giving ceremony. It's this amazing tradition where you get all dressed up, looking sharp, and your head teacher pins a blue ribbon right onto your jacket. It's a huge deal, a real milestone. But this isn't just some random piece of fabric. It's basically a timeline of your high school life. If you look closely, you'll see two dates on there. One is the year you first walked through those school doors, and the other, well, that's the year you'll walk out for the last time. It's the beginning and the end, all right there. And yeah, of course, it's a huge celebration. Your parents are there, your friends are there, there's usually a big dinner, and you get to perform all those dances you've been practicing for weeks and weeks. But that kind of brings up a question, right? Is it just a party, or is there something more going on here? Well, that's because this whole event has a much, much deeper meaning. The best way to think about it is like a wake-up call. You know how in a big track race, when the runners start their very last lap, they hear a loud bell? That bell means one thing and one thing only. The finish line is close. It's time to dig deep and give it everything you've got. And that's exactly what your ribbon is. It's the bell for your final lap. Because let's be real, finishing high school is not a short sprint, is it? No way. It's a long, tough endurance race. And this ribbon is the signal that says, okay, focus, gather all your strength, and let's finish this thing strong. This final lap is often less about physical energy, pulling all-nighters, and way more about what's happening inside your own head. It's all about breaking through your own mental barriers. And trust me on this, you are so much stronger than you think you are. To show you what I mean, let me tell you a quick story about a guy named Roger Bannister. So back in the 1950s, all the experts, doctors, scientists, coaches, they all believed it was physically impossible for a human to run a mile in under 4 minutes. They seriously thought a person's heart would just explode. It was considered an absolute unbreakable barrier. But then, on a cold, windy day back in 1954, Roger Bannister did what everyone thought was impossible. He crossed the finish line at 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. Boom. He didn't get to break the barrier, he totally shattered it. But honestly, the most amazing part of the story isn't just that he did it. It's what happened after he did it. Just 46 days later, another runner beat his time, and then another. Today, thousands of people have done it, even some high school kids. So what happened? Did human beings suddenly get faster in those 46 days? Of course not. What changed was their mindset. The barrier was never really physical, it was mental. As soon as one person proved it could be done, everybody else started to believe they could do it too. And it's not just about physical barriers, it's about social ones too. Take Catherine Switzer. In 1967, women were banned from running the Boston Marathon. Why? Because society decided they were too fragile. But she registered anyway, and when a race official literally tried to grab her and pull her off the course, she kept going. She finished that race, broke a huge social barrier, and opened the door for millions of women. So that impossible final exam you're worried about, remember these stories. The biggest barrier is usually the one inside your own head. But here's the kicker. You don't have to break these barriers all by yourself. In fact, you probably can't. And that brings us to the next really important idea, running with your team, and how some ancient wisdom can actually help you in this very modern race. There's this ancient piece of wisdom from the book of Hebrews that compares life to a race. It says we should run with endurance, surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. Just think about that. At your Szalagavato, when you're standing up there, look out into the crowd. Your parents, your teachers, your family, they are your cloud of witnesses. They're all there cheering you on. They've run their own races, and now they're here for yours. But that same ancient text also has a pretty serious warning. It says to strip off every weight that slows us down. I mean, it makes sense, right? You can't run a race carrying a bunch of heavy luggage. So let's be honest for a second. What are the weights that are slowing you down? Is it procrastination? Is it spending way too much time scrolling through TikTok? Maybe it's that fear of failure. To finish strong, you've got to be willing to drop some of that baggage. Let me give you a modern-day example. In a couple of different Olympics, the U.S. women's relay team had the fastest individual runners on the planet. They were the clear favorites to win gold, but they lost. Do you know why? They messed up the handoff. They dropped the baton. It didn't matter how fast each of them was individually, because the connection between them failed.
Think about it. Your teachers, your parents, they're trying to pass you the baton of their experience and support. Your only job is to reach out and grab it.
Okay, I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. It's all good to talk about finishing strong, but you're just tired, exhausted, and graduation feels like it's a million miles away. Well, this next part is for you. It's about finding your second wind. The famous psychologist William James once said, "Most people never run far enough on their first wind to ever find they have a second." Any runner knows exactly what he's talking about. You get to this point where your legs are heavy, your lungs are burning, and every part of you is screaming to just stop. But if you can just push through that wall, something incredible happens. You find a second wind. You get this new burst of energy you didn't even know you had. And that is exactly what this ceremony is all about. Your salagavato, that little blue ribbon, it's the official reminder that now is the time to push past what you think your limit is. It's the time to fight for that second win that's going to carry you all the way to the finish line. All right, and here's one final really crucial piece of advice for this last lap. You have to run your own race. It is so easy to look at the person next to you and think, "Oh, she's getting better grades," or "He understands this stuff way faster than I do." Just don't do it. The only person you're competing against is who you were yesterday. Set your own standards and focus on meeting them. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. A few months from now, in June, when you walk out of that school for the very last time, when you've officially crossed your finish line, what will you be able to say about the effort you put in? What is a successful finish going to mean to you, personally? So when you're standing there and that blue ribbon gets pinned to your chest, remember what it really means. It's not just a piece of fabric. It's the bell for your final lap. And my hope is that when you finally do finish, you'll be able to say these famous words, not as a religious thing, but as a student who gave it their absolute all. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. Good luck, seniors. Run well.